Hello, Niak here of the S8E2-3, here to show you the next two episodes on the Season 8 blog, which are Join the Hexagons and The Man in the Badge. We will start with the first one, Join the Hexagons. After getting disguised, Adzon is now Idzon the Umbuk. Indy and Charlie are just a dog and a monkey, respectively, etc. The Slants head to Europa, moon of Jupiter, and headquarters of the Hexagons, and receive their badges. They walk to one of the sergeants when someone with the rank of administrator, who also has a very familiar badge, walks up to Kairos to ask if he is tough. Kairos, disguised, says yes, and then insults the administrator about the high-tech bee mask he is wearing. The administrator then punches a chip out of Kairos' beak, and says he likes his attitude, and asks him to join a brutal division of the Hexblades, which are just another division of the Hexagons. Before he can say the name, he is stopped by another administrator. A Drakian literal drill sergeant named Juval Doraka barks orders at the Hexagon soldiers, was replaced by a human who tells the Hexagons, including all of the disguised Slants, that their mission is to stop a rebelling colony. He also showed the Hexagons Remus, who was within a chamber in which he was unconscious but alive in some sort of a meditative state or something, almost. He reveals his motives to turn Remus into a living weapon, which appalls the Slants. Dr. Goodwell makes it his mission to prank every Hexagon soldier by poisoning them with iodine-infused coffee. The Hexagons, along with the Slants, head to the rebelling colony and watch the battle before them. At last, most of the rebelling soldiers are captured by the actual Hexagons, while the Slants are trying to both maintain their cover and help the rebels escape. Dr. Goodwell and another soldier corner a rebel, but Dr. Goodwell offers the soldier some coffee, telling the soldier it will help him kill better. As the soldier drinks the tainted coffee, the rebel, not knowing that Dr. Goodwell is trying to help him, picks a sword fight with the undercover Slant. However, the fight does not last long, because the soldier topples over, unconscious from the toxic iodine, and the rebel thanks Dr. Goodwell and heads back into his escape pod and gets away, unlike his fellow rebels. Next episode, The Man in the Badge. After the Hexagon group and the Slants return back to the main base, Deckard compliments them about how swiftly they took care of the rebel base, and that destroying rebellions both takes care of them, and shows others who might rebel what happens to them if they do. After Deckard's speech, the administrator tries to introduce the topic of a new Hexagon branch again, but the same person stops him just as he is about to talk about who he will recruit. An agent named Klubich tells Kairos that the first administrator's name is Hexalus, which they both agree sounds fabricated. And the guy who keeps trying to stop him is his administrator Jackson, spelled Jackxson. After that, the Hexagon group, including the disguised Slants, were assigned to steal plasma weapons from a Genarian merchant ship heading to Jupiter. Once the Hexagons came close to the merchant ship, Dr. Goodwell boarded the ship and found the librarian from Genaria in the Dark Gods Part 2 Libraries and Enemies episode, who left the library and started a new life as a merchant. Dr. Goodwell explained the situation to the librarian, who gave some of the plasma weapons to him, along with a little bit of iodine and some coffee and tea for future pranking. After Dr. Goodwell leaves the merchant ship, he also smashes liquid chlorine to the ground, since Genarians don't have to breathe. He joins the rest of the Hexagons and Slants, again saying that the merchants were so scared of him, they gave him the plasma weapons. He also lies about getting extra iodine coffee and tea in order to perfect his coffee mix as the ship returns to Europa. The next episode will be called The Espionage. To be continued.